My name is Scott Osborne, and the book that I'm reviewing is Ethical Dilemmas in Education: Standing Up for Honesty and Integrity by Beverly H. Johns, Mary Z. McGrath, and Sarup R. Mathur. Each chapter begins with an ethical narrative that sets up the reader to identify the ethical dilemma or message of the chapter. The book itself is organized into two pathways that intersect at the end. When considering the first pathway, know the authors feel strongly that an ethical educator behaves in a saintly manner. That is, great teachers lead a life of ethical pureness. Very high standards, no pressure. In the first 7 chapters, the authors focus on examples of the many decisions educators make that could tempt them to behave unethically, whether that be through performing tasks related to another job during school hours, using equipment or supplies for personal matters, completing work-related tasks because they're what's expected but not necessarily because it's best for students, bullying a coworker, discussing student issues and data outside of school. An example presented in the text related to a teacher who shared confidential parent and student information with staff members that didn't work with that student. So this is data they would not have had access to otherwise. The stories are very compelling, even though the authors can come off a bit pious. The real power in the book, however, are the detailed explanations following the stories. Here, the long-term effects of unethical behaviors on school culture are examined. The authors really want us to see that the school culture and the school ethics permeate throughout the building and can affect originally highly ethical performers and make them make choices that are unethical. The second path in the book, I like to think of what every first-year teacher should know. It focuses on the legal issues that teachers deal with related to students, something a rookie teacher would want to know before they stepped foot into a classroom. Some of these items are avoiding shortcuts for assessment, so performing assessment with integrity, being thorough in IEP prep or recommendations, choosing words wisely in behavior management, keeping your cool when dealing with parents, always acting professionally. As I read these 6 chapters, I found myself thinking how beneficial this would have been as a new teacher. It always comes back to acting professionally in all of your school-related interactions, whether with colleagues, parents, community members, or students. The final 2 chapters tie up the book into a call for action to focus on your ethical behaviors as you work with students and in your school. The authors point out the interaction of ethical behavior and school culture. As an agent of change, it is important to engage your teammates in conversations about ethics. To me, the piece that I found the most useful is peppered throughout the book. The authors are not just pointing out ethical dilemmas. They provide a step-by-step framework to either battle ethical dilemmas, deal with unethical behaviors, or avoid these dilemmas altogether. I have listed several examples here, but I'll focus on a list found in Chapter 5 that focuses on situations when a teacher may behave in a borderline unethical way. For example, if contradictory information on a task or issues provided by colleagues in the district, it can be difficult to make the right decision. If there are too many viewpoints on a school issue, sometimes that can lead to compromise, and the compromise may not be in the best interest of the ethics of that person. If a building is overly concerned with teacher compliance, then teachers might make decisions based on that compliance and not necessarily on the ethical value of what they're doing. The book takes these opportunities to help the readers understand that many ethical decisions are made by educators on a daily basis. When considering making a recommendation for the book, I highly recommend the first 7 chapters to our cohort. The way the information is presented arms you with information to have strong conversations within your own schools about ethics. As far as the rest of the book, I stated earlier, I would recommend the latter half for all first-year teachers. The information is empowering, and I think we can all use a reminder of the importance of professionalism. That was my review for the book choice that I made, Ethical Dilemmas in Education. Thank you.